The holiday season is the time of year when everybody does a lot more baking than usual. We get out our mixers and start mixing, bake with our kids, and I think it's awesome. It's such a great way to build memories with our family. Today I'm gonna share a recipe with you of the one cookie that I make every single year. It's such a simple recipe, but it's the best one. The tender buttery cookie just melts in your mouth, and I love the raspberry jam in the middle. It's just right. It's a little tart and sweet, so it pairs really well with these cookies. The cookies are called Split Seconds. I got this recipe from my cousin many years ago, and we've been making it every year since. And honestly, I make this all year long because it's that delicious. I make these to share with neighbors, co-workers, friends, family, and just for us to enjoy. The ingredients we need are some room temperature butter, and it's important that it's not cold, otherwise it won't mix properly and then the texture won't be right. Granulated sugar, an egg, and the egg needs to be at room temperature too. Then we need some vanilla, flour, salt, baking powder, and that is it for the cookie batter. And then we're also gonna need some jam for the inside of the cookies. I've got a little helper here with me today.
Hi.
He loves making cookies, so we're gonna make these together. The first thing we're gonna do is mix the butter and the sugar in the mixer for about 5 minutes.
I'll add both of the butter.
Yep, both of them. There, and now you can pour the sugar in.
All of it?
Yep, all of it. Good. Yep, perfect. Now the butter is really fluffy, almost changed in color and got a little bit lighter. So this is what we're looking for, and now we're gonna add the egg. And we're also gonna add the vanilla right now too. Good job. Here, go ahead. Good job. Okay, go ahead and turn it on. We just want to mix it long enough so it comes together. And do you see how it's an even consistency? If the egg was too cold, it would curdle and it would look like it's buttermilk. That's what it would look like. So it is important to make sure that the butter and the egg are at room temperature. The last thing we're gonna add is the flour, baking powder, and salt. So I like to add them in and mix them up together first. Sometimes the baking powder and baking soda can clump up together. So this way it's distributed nice and evenly throughout the cookie dough, and you don't have to worry about biting down on a chunk of baking powder. And then we're gonna add it in to the bowl and then start it out on really low speed, or otherwise the flour will go flying everywhere. You don't want it flying on us, right? Very nice. Okay, good. He's right-handed, but I guess he wants to use his left hand. Okay, let's add more flour.
I want to add some more flour.
Mix it until it all comes together and the flour is mixed in, and it should look like this. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, then line a baking sheet with some parchment paper. And now you're gonna divide this dough into 4 equal pieces. I put 2 of the logs onto one baking sheet and then 2 more on another baking sheet. And then I flatten them with my fingers, and you want it to be about 12 inches long and about 3/4 of an inch wide. Make sure you leave enough room around the cookies because they will spread out as they're baking, and you don't want them to bake and fuse together. Make an indentation in the center, either using a spoon, the end of a wooden spoon, or your finger, and fill them up with some jam. You're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of jam into each of the bars of cookies. Make sure that the jam stays right in the center. You don't want to overfill this indentation. That's why I'm telling you, you only need 2 tablespoons for each of the logs of cookies. If you overfill the cookies or if you spread them out too wide, they will spill out. I'm gonna get these cookies into the oven. It's preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes and then check on them. If your oven temperature is not working correctly or something, maybe it will take up to 20 minutes, but not more than that. But I would start checking them at 15 minutes. And this is important, you guys. Let's have a heart to heart. Do not overbake these cookies. Bake them just until they're lightly, barely golden, just on the bottom edges. That's it. If you overbake them, they just will not be the same. They're gonna be crispy and crunchy, not tender and melting in your mouth. So please listen to what I'm telling you and don't overbake them. Got my second baking partner here. Nathaniel's gonna help me finish these up. So while those cookies are in the oven, we're gonna finish these up. Perfect, look at that. You're awesome at this. Look at how even that is. That's perfect. I love this dough. It is so easy to work with. It doesn't stick to your hands. It doesn't stick to the counter. It's awesome for kids. Let the cookies cool for about 5 to 10 minutes right on the baking sheet. And then take a nice sharp knife and cut them while they're still warm on the diagonal. This cookie for me is all about simplicity. It's easy to make. I make the batter with my kids all the time. They really enjoy it. It doesn't take long to make. You don't have to do a lot of things to bring it together, and it just tastes incredible. I'll take this cookie over the fancy ones any day. Even if you don't make any other cookies, I definitely recommend that you make this one. You will not regret it.
It's so yummy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is it nice and soft? I thought he gave it to me. I guess he just wanted me to hold it.
It's so good.
So buttery, and they definitely melt in your mouth.
I want more.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm picking this one.
Go to Olga's Layer Factory to get the printable recipe, and happy baking.